Back here at Bloggapalooza 2006, I'm here with Jeff Coryell, also known as Yellow Dog Sammy from the blog Ohio 2006, which is Ohio 2006 elections.blogspot.com. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about your blog.
Okay, well, it's a sort of a one-year project. Notice that my branding is from 2006, and I expect that the day after Election Day I'll have a life again.
Or 2007 blog. A less interesting 2007 blog.
I started the blog in January, and my goal is to work toward the election, and my interest is talking about the interesting candidates that are on the slate up and down the ticket this year.
And you're talking about just, not just the statewide candidates, but you're really going deeper and you're looking at all the state rep and state senate candidates as well, or at least as many as you've been able to.
That's right. That's right. I've had to sort of hold myself back from getting into the county races, with one exception. But I found that the General Assembly races are very important, but don't get a whole lot of media coverage. And I've just enjoyed getting out there and meeting people who are running for the General Assembly, the Ohio House of Representatives, and the Ohio Senate, and finding out their story and how they got involved in politics and what they aspire to and like to do with their, career in public life, and then to tell that story to the public.
How did you get started doing this?
Well, I used to be an avid reader of the national liberal blog Daily Kos, and I started reading that during the Kerry campaign. And after a while, I started to post comments there and began a series of diaries in which I would report to a national audience on what is happening in Ohio. And after I'd done that for a while, I became aware of the various blogs in Ohio talking about Ohio politics and decided that I wanted to convert what I had been doing into an Ohio blog that talks about Ohio politics. However, because I began my focus talking to a nationwide audience, one thing that's characteristic about my blog is that I always introduce every person I talk about with a full name, the location, a little bit of their history and some background about whatever the topic is, so that someone from any other part of the country can read my blog and doesn't have to catch up. With a lot of the other blogs, there's a bit of an assumption that you know something about Ohio politics. So someone might be referred to by a nickname rather than a full name, or the discussion might leap into the middle of some brewing controversy without background. So.
You're a key contributing member of the Meet the Bloggers group now. You've done how many Meet the Bloggers interviews?
I think about a half a dozen. Yeah.
What's your initial impression?
Well, I think it's a great thing. It's a pretty extraordinary venue. There's enough time that the discussion can be sort of free-ranging, get into a variety of topics, and the the tone of the discussion tends to be somewhat informal, more like sitting around a table after dinner talking about things, rather than as a sort of a set of blogging professionals. So the people we've talked to have not seemed at all intimidated and have spoken freely, and afterwards stood up and said how much they enjoyed having the time and the opportunity to talk about policy and politics over an extended period of time.
Of the half dozen you've done, is there one that you would tell people, hey, if you're going to check out one Meet the Bloggers interview, check this one out?
Well, the one that I thought was the most riveting was actually a debate-type Meet the Bloggers between Mark Dan and Subodh Chandra during the Attorney General primary. The two men were both really brilliant, very articulate, extremely smart, extremely well prepared. They had debated before, and so that conversation was just really crisp, and it was really extraordinary. So that was a good one. But we've had other good ones too. I really enjoyed talking to Tom Sawyer, who ran for Congress. He's very knowledgeable and has a long history as a statesman. I thought the interview with Mike Foley was really interesting too. Mike Foley was appointed to the Ohio House of Representatives to take the place of Dale Miller, who moved up to the Ohio Senate. But he had a very, very close primary contest with some controversy at the end, and it was just a really interesting look into the mechanics and the drama of that kind of a race.
So Ohio 2006 is focusing on this year. Obviously, this year will end. We will have elections in November. What next year? I mean, do you really stop blogging then, or are you going to refocus, or do you have another project kind of in mind that you're thinking about?
Well, I think so. Actually, in my non-blogging life, I'm an artist. I'm a painter. And my studio time has suffered greatly while I pursued the blogging, so I think it's back to the studio.
At least for now.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. The Yellow Dog,
you.
Sammy. You can check out his blog at Ohio2006elections.blogspot.com.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks.